Mama Mabone, you will allow me to say all protocol observed. There are too many beautiful women here, and all the gentlemen who are here are also women today. This is our day. This is our day. You know, when my granddaughter, who was standing here, raising her gogo to stand up, I had no idea that they had gone this far to put together this amazing gathering. It would be criminal if we allowed this to be just today, like the Women's Day. The Women's Day, which has just become one of those days that are celebrated once a year, when women, in fact, should be celebrated every day. And the wonderful speeches we have heard here, I'm so proud of the Wits SRC president. How's up, Mtanam? You know what it means to have young women like this on an occasion of this nature. You have no idea what it means to our generation. That day, Yabo Mamulili and Ngoi, those 60 years ago, when they collected women from all over the country, women who were walking barefoot, women who came from the countryside with their babies on their backs. And it was those years when apartheid was at its worst. South Africa was a police state. Even Nazi Germany did not compare to what we went through those many years ago. And that today we have young girls like this, Homa Mutandi, the wonderful speeches we have heard here, so open and frank. This was the idea of this forum. About what you are doing, generation yetu, we will sleep peacefully when we leave this world, because we know we have left custodians of the struggle for women in your hands. Congratulations. Ukhona ke nomnye umntana apha who cried of the many wonderful speeches we have heard here. Khawuze apha wena ubusithi you attempted suicide. Ze apha. You actually symbolize the pain of today's mothers. You know, those many years ago when we fought for the liberation of this country, no problem was insurmountable. Sasisilwa for the liberation of our country. And the struggle those days was our opium. We were so hooked by our thirst for freedom that we did not foresee that in 2016 I would hear a young girl, Ongangawe, saying she has attempted suicide many times. It is an indictment to us, to all of us sitting here as mothers, grandmothers, and as sisters and aunts to you. Yintoni lesingayenza? What have we done to our country? What have we not done that has landed us up to this situation in which we find ourselves? Namhlanje, the DA is able to get metros from us. And you, women, are in the majority. What have we done to South Africa? All of us need to introspect and find out what have we done to these children. Ukuthi namhlanje there would be a young girl ongaka who says sikhona sisaphila, that she has attempted suicide many times. We'll try and find an answer for you. We will try, as of today, we women, we must roll up our sleeves. We must roll up our sleeves and not allow the situations as EJ that manifest themselves into a situation where we find abantwana bethu in 2016 saying that she attempted suicide many times. Ungahlala phansi mntanami, I'll come to you again. Sorry, this is my nurse from the military. She says I need to take a sip of water. Namhlanje, we wanted to prove that all mama need to be celebrated every day. We needed to say to us all here, this pain we saw namhlanje is because we celebrate all mama once a year on the 9th of August. What does that mean? What does that mean? As a result of that, we get problems as fana nalezi zithethwa ngabo abantwana. But for the rest of the year, what do we think is happening to them? Why do we find ourselves where we are today? We all need to introspect and go back to the drawing board and find out what has happened to South Africa. That namhlanje we have lost Itswane, we have lost Nelson Mandela Bay. Even those cities we took them with a low majority. Kutheni makhosikazi. What I want to request, Mabone, namhlanje, is that you lead us in a little forum we must form today. Tina, we are not going to be meeting once a year. I hope you will agree with me and support us in that idea that let us form some kind of quorum where we would meet just once a month, this kind of forum where women are able to regurgitate and talk about their problems. In 9th of August does not help anybody. We have rallies, we go wearing uniform, green blouses, and at the end of the day we part, and that's it. We have learned a great deal from women like the chairperson of the NCOP, Comrade Tande, and ukhona amakhosikazi apha anokusifundisa izinto ezininzi abafana nomama uDabita Makgoba, who are seasoned social workers. Naba abantwana mamuhlele ekhaya akho nto yenzayo. We were pensioned, but naba abantwana besithi they are attempting to commit suicide. Sisekhona saphila. Naba abantwana bethu besithi they fought for fees must fall. There was no success there. These children did not win that battle. They said fees must fall last year, that the students could not afford the fees last year and could therefore not afford the fees the following years. The fact that they won that battle that year, end of the year, and the fees were not increased, and the promise we made as government that the fees would not be increased, didn't mean they had won any battle. Abantwana bethu are still in trouble. They cannot afford the high education fees. You know, we are the only section of our population that can help create jobs. Most of you here are working in big corporations because I don't know how much we've been able to get our women from rural areas. But I just assume that as we are sitting here, some of you are working for big corporations. And we must try and influence capital to help the state create jobs for our people. I have said time without number that the dangers of unemployed youth are that unemployed youth are a ticking time bomb. We are where we are today mostly because our youth did not support us much in the elections, for very good reason too. They have been voicing their problems to us, and how much we have done about their problems, that is left to you to investigate. But I am not here to give any speech today. I just want to say thank you ever so much and request you, Mama, to head a little formation of a little forum that is going to carry this process forward. I'm sorry I can't be long here. I can't stand for a long time. And I am not sorry though that I have not been to Parliament for 2 years. Before i-medical certificate iphele bendiye kugqirha wam ndithi mona gqirha ndisagula kakhulu. My friend Thandi Modise knows I think the file must be this thick in Parliament full of my medical certificates. So I am really hoping that this is going to bear wonderful fruits and that we're going to proceed from now, and we'll have our next occasion next month. Because for the first time we listened to you, not representing anybody, but representing yourselves. And you were talking from the bottom of your hearts, not afraid to say, "Eish, by the way, I can't say this because I'm in so-and-so's camp." You know, and if I speak, "Eish, I am so-and-so's person," because namhlanje kune ANC and members. And zazi ezinye party members lo ngumuntu kabani umuntu kazibani bani. During our time, the era of the Oliver Tambos, the Lutulis, all the leadership, the cream abo Chris Hani, ayingekho yonke loo nto leyo. Tina, we used to stand at attention just ukufumana isiqondiso esiphuma eLusaka. Uthi usifunda esisiqondiso, you would tremble because you knew ingathi inkokheli yakho ime lapha ecaleni kwakho. Namhlanje ngeziphi inkokheli esizisupportayo honestly? Why are things as they are today? And it is sohlukahlukene, we are in camps. We women have got the power to return the African National Congress to its former glory. I am not saying everybody here is a member of the ANC. We are here as women and as mothers of South Africa and as grandmothers of South Africa. And that is the forum on which we should base our discussions. Akukho mntu who has any ideology here, just like 1976. When the children of 1976 took up to the streets and said enough was enough, they were the youth of South Africa. It seems we only operate honestly in that kind of forum where we are South Africans and we all unite under the South African flag. Most of the topics were not touched here today, so what I'm suggesting is that we carry on with this kind of forum, and even those subjects we did not manage to touch today, so we should be able to discuss in our next forum, like women's abuse, violence, domestic violence. There is so much we needed to discuss, how we should view our constitution. Are there any amendments we need to make, to recommend be made in our constitution? What about racism? And only the women can lead that process. It's only the mothers who know how the pain is when your child comes from these non-racial crashes and says, "Mommy," like my granddaughter of 5 years old, she came the other day, where's Upunonzol? My 5-year-old, her daughter, came from school and said, you know, Gogo, Ramos, there's a little boy I like in school, his name is Ramos. But this is a non-racial crush. But Ramos said he likes my pretty face, but he didn't like my kinky hair. 5-year-old. And this boy is of her age. And then we are surprised when there are sparrows of today calling us monkeys. And we think it's a joke and it doesn't affect you. It affects only that person who was called a monkey. It insults all of us. These people must not tempt us again. These people who are of the other color must not go back to that racism which drove us to the forest. We are still there. We are still alive. And it's ngayisusa nanini. It is about time the women of this country gave a strong warning to all those racists out there, who keep calling us monkeys, who keep calling us baboons, that they must remember what we have done to them in the past. There were times when we were all by ourselves in the country, and yet we defeated them. We defeated apartheid, we fought them, and they knew that they could no longer win any battle on racism. So they must not keep reminding us of those days, because our people are still there. Do not continue provoking us. You do not play with that fire as long as we breathe. Amandla!